Hi there YouTube, Extreme Trains here. In this video we're taking a look at one of the re-released metal collection Salty for 2026, and this one is very curious because I relatively recently reviewed the push along Salty from All Engines Go, and that was actually one of my favourite All Engines Go push along models. So yes, I know we put out our rose-colored glasses, that's what everyone says, but I actually have a feeling that perhaps some All Engines Go merchandise might actually be better than what's in this box. But let's do this review and find out. What are we waiting for? Let's do it. Here is Salty in his packaging. Again, we've got that metal collection stripe. We've got the CGI picture of Salty there. We've got Salty here in his little box. Hello. And again, see, this is what I was saying, that I think the blue stripe along the top of the larger engine boxes, it makes a world of difference in terms of making these a bit more vibrant and exciting. But again, like, please just tell me there isn't a wall of text on the back. Please. Anyway, let's crack Salty open and take a look. Bring Salty in for his glamour shot. Alright, let's get that face there. Face is okay. He looks like a bit Botoxed and like in a puffy, like his face is a bit too puffy kind of way and not super healthy looking, so I don't love that. Yeah, I don't love that. And again, the fact they didn't paint the buffers when they re-released these is really annoying. I'm glad to see he's got the hazard stripes. That's something. Similar to the other engines, I think the top half of him looks actually okay. His cab is squashed, but it's not anywhere near as squashed as, for example, Edwards is. So that's nice. Some nice detailing on the top, not super well painted. It's all a bit kind of unaligned, but it's nice. At least we've got some of those details there. Again, the painting on the side I think is fine. Painting on the back, which is not guaranteed in this line, regardless of whether you're in the All Engines Go era or this era. I like the yellow running board with that detail on it. And then we have the new black wheels, or the new wheels in black, I should say, for this rebooted, re-released, retooled version of this engine. We've got Salty there written on the bottom. Again, that's even like kind of different to the ones we looked at, like Edward and Yong Bao. Yeah, I don't think Salty is terrible by himself. And again, I think, similar to what I was saying about Diesel, I think the dark colors, the new wheels, somewhat hide how wide he is down the bottom. It kind of like, your eyes kind of play a trick on you because it's all black, so it kind of all blends into one. And also, you know, I've got a black table, so that helps. So yeah, he looks not as bad. But let's have a look at the Salty from All Engines Go and see if that opinion changes. This is the Salty from All Engines Go. Check out my review of that if you want to. And as I said, this was an awesome. I really like this Salty. I think it was great. And then it's like this, when you compare these together, you really realize, like, they were going hard in All Engines Go. And I said this in some of my other reviews. Like, they were really going hard. Like, you got stripes all the way around. Those extra separately fitted details look awesome. You know, things like having the horn on the roof. Obviously, he had a slightly different color scheme. Things like a tail lamp. He had a molded and printed tail lamp. Like, where is that energy? You know? Like, to me, this is such a better Salty toy. If you had put a different face on this, you could have made this would be a very good Salty toy. I did wonder, like, you know, why didn't they just, you know, whack a CGI face on the All Engines Go tooling? I think the reason is that it's still a very different style. And for example, if you compare, like, these two, without the faces, proportionally, they're very different. The slopiness of the All Engines Go thing, yeah, I don't think it was possible for them to just retool this easily into this. But I do think that this Salty really shows that they had hit their stride with the metal engines and were producing some really cool stuff. So to go back to something like this, which is just so much, it's so much less bright, it's so much less inviting, it's so much less exciting, is a pretty big downgrade, in my view. So yeah, this Salty is fine. I don't really recommend it. I don't think it's that great. If you need a Salty in your collection, then I suppose you can get it. But yeah, this is a case where I think if you're just collecting metal engines generally, try and get the All Engines Go Salty. It's much better. But if you obviously are trying to be particular about saying, no, I want to have the CGI version of the character, well, you know, I think the smaller wheels on this version versus the version from 2019 will help, with the fact that these are just so damn out of proportion and ugly. But anyway, that's all we've got time for. This is Extreme Trains.